This conference will now be recorded.
From Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina, and Cambridge, England, we welcome you to Startup Masters. Hi, I'm your host, Nick Palavita, along with our co-host, Kim Calhoun.
Hi, everyone.
We have a very special guest from Cambridge, England, which is across the pond for those people who don't know, Dainiel Dippold. Dainiel, welcome to the show.
Welcome,
Thanks
Dainiel.
so much for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, Dainiel, you're with the Kairos Society. Can you tell people what is the Kairos Society?
Yes, the Kairos Society is a community of entrepreneurs, 25 or younger, and we focus the next generation on problems worth solving. So we think you shouldn't, if you have so much capacity, so much intellect as a young human being, you shouldn't just build the next Tinder or the next Uber. You should build something meaningful, right? So what we're looking for is impact-driven projects that focus around affordability, but all over making the world a better place.
Right.
And is age limited? I mean, you're saying 25 and
if you want to receive fellowship, yes, but there's a lot of other doors into Kairos, right? We do have
that leaves us out, Nick.
All right, but other people can participate, but basically looking at the younger demographic to join the Kairos Society, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, now you're in Cambridge, England, and you're doing this summit, and I'd like to talk about the summit in Venice, Italy. Talk to me about the summit.
Yes, so we basically were a community, right? There was no summit. And at one point we realized there's so much potential here, so many incredible people, we should do something. So the summit really was initially just a group of amazing people meeting and trying to come up with solutions to big challenges the world is currently facing. And we had a very strong mission, right? We said, look, there's so much we can do. And suddenly a lot of incredible people started joining us. Suddenly there was a founder at Skype coming to the Kairos Summit, or Corinne Bigreau, who's the founder of TomTom, who founded her own school in Paris. And we got a lot of support, but this was completely unexpected. Initially, it was just a couple of young guys meeting and trying to solve these issues.
So when is the summit going to take place? When is this going to happen?
It's the 19th and 20th of October 2019.
Wow. Okay, wow, that's coming up pretty fast. October
Yes.
19th and 20th in Venice. And can anyone show up, or how does this work?
No, it's invite only. There's actually a very rigid application process. So if you're Kairos fellow, you're part of it anyway, right? So you can definitely come. And if not, there's an application cycle. And we basically look for people who fit the mindset and the vision, right? It doesn't mean you have to have a big track record yet, but you need to fit to the mindset, because we believe what actually sparks change in the end is it's a very specific mindset. That
a demographic, as we would say, a demographic. But let me ask you this: how many people are going to be at the summit, approximately?
250.
250. Okay, approximately. That's pretty close. So, do they just come from England or Europe, or where do these people come from?
They come from everywhere in the world. We do have people from Africa, from Asia, all the continents out there,
including the United States.
Including the United States.
Gosh, I wasn't sure if we're welcomed
anywhere.
Well, we know
Nick's going to be there. So.
I know, but I'm not sure if we're welcomed anywhere anymore, but that's another story. Okay, so they come from all over. All right, so the thing is, and what's going to happen at the summit? Tell me, because you've had these summits before, right? So what goes on at the summit?
What can we expect when Nick gets there?
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So what we guarantee is that this is definitely not going to be your normal summit, right? Because at so many conferences, you meet, you network, you leave, that's it. People make great connections, but nothing happens. What we really want to do is we want to foster friendship. And that doesn't happen if you wear a suit and a tie and if you just talk formally about your business.
Oh, that's another thing important. Do I have to wear a suit and tie, or can I go smart casual?
You just said.
You can go smart casual.
I know, I just want to make sure, because I'm always in a suit and tie, so I can go smart casual.
You
Okay.
can go more casual, and there's a conference-like day, right? We would say on Saturday. So for people who want to wear ties, that's the only opportunity, because on Sunday you're not even allowed to wear a shirt, right? If they definitely want to, we say okay. But the idea is really to come as you are. Is flexible, right? Because sometimes we do hikes. Last year we did a breathing session. We do something where you connect as friends. Incredible people connecting on a personal level, not necessarily on a business level, because that comes next, right? That is when you actually start working on the project. But you need a good foundation, and that foundation to us is friendship. That's the first thing about the conference. The second thing is that we group people into very small groups, 15 to 20, and then we do what we call think tanks. So there's a big challenge. For instance, in climate change, there's a more specific challenge. For instance, too many people flying these days and pumping a lot of kerosene into the air. So what we do is we activate incredible people. And
I'm flying across the ocean, so I figure I'm going to be one of those contributors to negativity. But go on. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes, no, very good point. And this is something we're really we definitely gonna share links how you can offset your flights, right? But this is just one thing. The global population flying more is a big problem. What can we do about it? And we have a very good experience with just getting super smart people in one room, facilitating it properly. So we have world-class facilitators there, and then letting them go through different phases of divergence and convergence. And at one point, there's a practical solution, and that's what we're going to implement afterwards. So it's not about your startup; it's about any solution that can possibly solve that challenge.
That's great, Daniel, because to me, networking is the key. If I have to sit and listen to another lecture after going to college for 10 years and teaching university, I don't know if I could handle another lecture, but networking to me is the key, and that would be super. So it's going to be a lot of networking that's going to go on at the conference, right?
Exactly. It's not you just sitting down and listening to a bunch of keynotes. We limit our keynotes to, let's say, 3 a day. Normal conferences go up to 20, right? We don't do that. We let people discuss. And a great byproduct of that is we get actual solutions, right? We just launched an initiative for decentralized, solar-driven internet in Paraguay, just because we got super smart people in one room. They figured that out, and they're now talking to people from the Paraguayan government, as of my knowledge, to implement this solution and make it happen.
Right. And you're going to be there at the Europe Summit, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Sure.
All right. Just want to make sure, so that's good. And this goes on for 2 days, is that right?
That goes on for 2 days, yes.
Okay, great. All right. Well, I certainly am going to be there, and I certainly would hope to be able to meet some of these people. And Kim, is there anything else you want to say for the Kairos Summit before we move on?
Well, I wish I were going. I met Marcus, and he told me all about what happens there. This year, it's not meant to be, but I want to work with you guys, even though I'm not in that age limit, unfortunately. But I think what you're doing is fabulous, because it's inspiring growth. It's inspiring growth at a different rate of where you would do it anywhere else. And let me tell you why, because you're doing it in smaller bunches. And that way you can concentrate on what the needs are, what the people need to do. So no, I think it's awesome. And I really wish I were going, and you have a wonderful lineup this year. And it just gives me something to look forward to next year.
Yeah, but we're going to be reporting on it. But we're running out of time right now. But we do want to thank Daniel and the Kairos Society. Just realized the summit's coming up October 19th and 20th. But you're not invited. I always like to go to places where I'm not invited. You have to actually fill out an application. So for those who want to be part of the society, you have to fill out an application. You go through a process. Then you can be part of the Kairos Society. I hope I'm saying the right things here, Daniel.
Or you become a fellow, right?
Or you become a fellow.
I mean,
all the Kairos summits in the
Yes, but go look them up on the Kairos Society. You can find them on your website, and hope you see us at another Startup Masters. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. See you next time.
Thanks so much for having me.